Hey everybody, it's me, Ashley Brooke. For those of you guys who don't know me yet, I'm autistic, and I have two autistic kids. And I just wanted to share with you guys what worked for me as a child, how I remember the way I learned. I was nonverbal till I was 7, and I stopped talking from 10 to 11. And I had many sensory issues, and I was never understood growing up. So I have been remembering how it was when I was younger, and I've been using those memories to help my children learn and reach their milestones. So I just wanted to I'm going to do some activities with Izzy today. And I know I've tried them on Ozzy before too, and they really work. For those of you guys who see my son on my YouTube channel and my TikTok channel, Ozzy is nonverbal, and he has. People would think that he has many challenges and that he's, not high functioning, but he is. And I want to share with you guys some activities you guys can do with your kids that will really help them, just with feeling confident, wanting to participate, engaging, and socializing, because it's really important. I know a lot of people say, oh, don't high mask, don't do this, but even if we have trouble, we still have to learn because it's necessary. I wouldn't say that they should always depend on high masking, but it definitely is survival in some cases. So I believe that this is what I did when I was younger, and it helped me, and it helped my kids. So I'm just going to share it with you guys. So get them building things, connecting things together. A lot of us have weak muscle tone in our fingers, and balancing issues with our feet, and sometimes even we're not processing when we're overwhelmed, and our hands are moving hand frailing. I remember when I was younger, I would just constantly just knock cups over all the time. My parents didn't understand why, and they thought I was just being, careless and clumsy. I actually have weak muscle tone in my legs and my hands. And when I'm overly stimulated, I'm not focusing on, some things would be to a neurotypical being instinctive. Myself, I have to tell myself and prompt myself to be aware of what I'm doing all the time. And Ozzy is kind of I need reminders, or I need prompting for I can be able to remember to do it. I always felt rushed growing up, let's just say. So I think that this will help with a lot of the frustration. A lot of times when I was younger, they thought I was aggressive because I would get frustrated, because there's nothing worse than not being able to express yourself and be able to share with your loved ones that you are having physical difficulties, not just, they always assume that it's an intellectual disorder. A lot of times there's medical conditions associated with autism that people don't realize. And there's other physical aspects to it. So I highly suggest connecting pieces of toys, either our building, the magnetic blocks, or they have also those little they look like little wheels, and you snap them into each other. This is going to help them. I feel that it's going to help them with, one, physically with their muscle tone. Two, it's going to help them cognitively. It's a cognitive exercise, and it helps us if we're having trouble expressing ourselves. The more physically capable that we are, the more willing we will be to participate in things. And I also want to share with you guys another thing that to do with children is that are autistic and especially they're having challenges. A lot of people forget their inner child, and they will like talk to an autistic child, however they feel comfortable. And it's like autistic children need like extra reassurance because we always like double like we doubt ourselves a lot. Just say we doubt ourselves if we're like meeting the expectation, if we're doing it right. People are looking at us strange, and we feel that disconnection, and people are like can't figure us out, and it kind of like creates this like this little wall between us, and then we'll start to resist or shut down. So I think it would be really good for you to do with your children, or if you happen to be watching autistic children, I do this with my kids, like little bunch of little animals, little farm animals, little character people, and then I'll get like different like little like toy like little like props like a little like toy microphone for the little people, and I'll go and I'll pretend with a little voice, and I'll pretend that they're singing, and I'll go run to my daughter with the little animal, and I'll be like, come on, let's go this way, come on, you want to go sing? And then I'll go like walk the little animal to like a little stage like what we build with Legos, and then I'll start singing with the little microphone, and she's opening up more to feel comfortable, to be silly. What that does is it makes us feel like we're not going to upset you if we don't reach that expectation. And when you're doing pretend play like that, it makes it to where like you're at their level, and when it's pretend play, there's no right or wrong, and it kind of gives us a little more reassurance that and when you have to do it with a big smile too, and engage, like don't just talk like above a child, you have to go like down to their level, and that's pretty much every child actually, but more so with autistic children, we need a little extra reassurance that we are engaging correctly, compliments, reassurance, and I also wanted to say, also I know that this helped with my daughter. We'll get like we'll pretend play, but with like I'll pretend that a block is a cell phone, and I will like we'll get like a big box, like a big old like it's like a regular like cardboard box, and we'll just jump in there like a big one. We'll jump in there, and then we'll get like the little golf sticks that she has, and we'll pretend like we're in the water, and then I'll be like, "Don't fall out, you're gonna drown." Like the imagination is super important with autistic children. It is going to help them be more flexible when engaging people, because when things are supposed to be a particular way, I know that when I was younger, I would be like, oh my god, I can't do that. So it kind of like you want to start it when they're young so that they're more playful and engaging. I also want to say, like, infant education is super important. I know that when I first felt confident when I was younger, and I know that it's worked with Ozzy and Izzy, they feel like they want to participate more when they know that they're doing something well. And those things are like, colors, or things that they know, that is very easy to, like, color sorting, matching numbers, I do with my kids. With Ozzy, I'll change the password on his cell phone all the time, and he has to remember. I'll tell him the numbers to get into his phone because he really wants to play his games, and I think that really helps children on the spectrum to, not just having the knowledge, to feel capable, to feel like, okay, I'm smart, I got this, even if I don't fit in socially, I know that I'm smart. So that's what first gave me my confidence to start trying to come out of my bubble when I was younger. When I first started talking, before I used to think I was stupid, and then later on I started to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, I'm smarter than that person, and I know how to do those things better than that person. So it made me, and I don't know if it's totally correct, but it did give me that extra, like, ability to overcome a lot of my challenges by feeling capable and having the education. Because autism is not an intellectual disorder. And I also want to say it's super important. I want to really press on this. Participation is so important. A lot of us, sometimes it feels like, imagine being shy. It kind of feels kind of like a shy feeling when you're in a social situation and you're not used to being around people or like talking to people. It's like this weird like don't know how to respond and you sort of freeze up type of thing. So I feel that it's really important to get them to do like infant education activities, because I think a big part of it is prompting them to have a growth mindset and not a stuck one. Because if they have a stuck mindset, they're going to think that if they didn't get it right the first time, they're going to get frustrated, and they're going to think that it has to do with their autism. They're going to think it has to do because they are just dumb, or they don't got it, or nobody likes them. They're going to take it more highly sensitive, I feel. So I think it's important to start getting them used to following the instructions of an infant education, like whether it be sorting colors, and when they get it wrong, you just correct them, and they might throw a little fit and then cry on the floor, and then that's okay. You just give them a minute, or you can redirect them to another activity, but still do the color sorting of the same colors, but just change it to, instead of like we have little poker chips that are different colors. Instead of just go from that, if they have a meltdown from not getting it correctly and they don't want to like listen to the instruction, like say for example they put you tell them to put the yellow chip in the yellow box. If they want to put it into the blue box and you tell them that's a blue box, put it in the yellow box, and they may still want to keep putting it where they want. They're just going to get really frustrated. You just will be like, oh, okay, here, when they put in there, just be like, okay, and then get the blue chip. And this is a blue one, this is a yellow one, and then they might cry, but then after, get up, walk to another section, have it already set up, with like, say, little fruits, different color fruits, and then get the same colors. Get the yellow banana and put it in here. By changing the scene, but still keeping the instruction, that'll allow them to like kind of give them a little fresh start to where they won't feel like too much of that stigma of that activity. So it'll allow them to do it again without feeling like pointed out. Because we're very like sensitive to where we feel like we didn't do it right. Like we already have that stigma of society, and we have it very young. We really do. So I think it would be helpful to start getting them used to, understanding that failure is part of the process to a lot of things. You can't learn or even measure growth without failure. So, super important. I feel like as soon as I was able to get rid of the fear of what will people say, are they looking at me, did I do it wrong, once I was able to shake that off, it took me a while, then I actually really was able to like overcome a lot of my milestones that I was struggling with. I was able to even do like talking used to be my biggest weakness, and I ended up being an advocate, and then I ended up like being like the kind of person that I can like go into now I can go into like say a department store, and if they're being incorrect, or they try to like I'm really sharp and I'm really like assertive now, I'm really like expressive now. I was never that way at all, but a lot of times our biggest weaknesses, if we can learn how to keep trying and pushing yourself with the right support, we can actually become really good at that particular area that was our biggest weakness. So I feel like we end up trying even harder to understand and, all aspects of it, because we know that we have that insecurity with it. So we end up being very thorough and efficient with it, and it ends up being like, more of a gift than than a disability. So I hope that information helps you guys. I just wanted to share with you, those are the activities that I'm going to be doing with Izzy. I wrote them down earlier. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see if I missed one of them. I wrote them all down here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would definitely, oh yes, one more tip for autism. For if you have girls with autism, we hate our hair combed. We have issues with like water or our hair being wet on our back, stuff like that. My daughter has that issue, and I used to have when I was younger. And my son too, with even water hitting his head, to wash their hair, because I know it's super hard sometimes. I get a wash rag, and I put the soap in it, and I will wash his hair with the wash rag, with the water and the soap. Can't pour straight water on him, and they have to wring it out, and then have to fill it with water again, and slowly wash that off, and then they all start to get more used to it, and then little by little, they start pouring a little bit more water. That's how I do Ozzy's hair. Izzy, she gets really, doesn't want anyone combing her hair. I was even almost going to cut her hair because she has issues combing it, and I started to work with it little by little. I start from the bottom, start slowly, and I'll say soft, 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 and then I'll be like more playful though, and you just have to take your time and start from the bottom, little by little. Take your time. A lot of parents will just go like straight through the hair. Eventually they'll get more used to it, and they'll start to do it themselves. But you're gonna want to really just keep slowly working with them, even if they don't let you do it fully one day. As long as they let you do a little bit of it, you say, okay, that's enough for now. We'll do more later. Don't do it like all forceful, like no, right now, like all that. Oh my God, I already know there's so many like women that say when they're little girls, their moms would be like, all crazy, all like yelling and pulling their hair. Don't do that to an autistic kid, please don't. I'll have to come hunt you down. So those are some tips for you guys. If you guys have any questions, ask me. And if you guys have any questions about like my autism, go ahead and ask. Feel free to ask. Kind of want to get the conversations going to see if there's anything that I may need to know. There's different types of autism, and I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can for my children. So yeah, I just kind of want to keep the communication open, see if we can work together, in our autism community. Alright, I'll see you guys later. I'll be filming later to the video recordings of me with Izzy doing the activities.